All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August 2025 meeting of the Athens in Motion Commission. I'll go ahead and call roll. Lauren is out. Teresa here. Randy
Here.
Alan is not in yet. Ed
Here.
Lane
Here.
and Gabriella said she would be in late. So we do have a quorum. 4 + 1 is 5. We don't have any committee members present. We have Daniel here. Do you know if Katie or Jason are joining us?
I have not heard from them. I thought they were.
Okay, so they might be a little bit late. Oops.
Actually, yeah, I don't think Katie can make it, so I'm presenting her crash report.
Okay.
And Jason might be busy too.
And any public comment?
None.
Right. So we have the agenda in front of us. The main things I did change is I attempted to upload the crash report for the first time and included, and I think I might have left off some pages and there were a couple of other things that changed. So I did send y'all an updated PDF, but we're going to start trying to include that ahead of time. And big thanks to Katie for helping us make that happen so it can go into the record. And then I did add a brief note about Todd is going to give us an update on the East Campus Connector Bridge just during staff updates, and appreciate that. Then Teresa has an update for us about our supplies in addition to the Watch for Dogs report back. So thank you, Teresa, for doing that. Anything we need to change about the agenda?
I think so.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, can you get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye. Could you print a PDF of that real quick?
You what?
Could you print a PDF of that agenda for me real quick?
The updated one?
Yeah,
Well, it's there. It's in your inbox. Does that count?
as a PDF.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great. And then, sorry, this is blocking. Next up, we have our minutes from July. Thank you, Blaine. Safe Streets for All, T-Splost. Talked about the plan revision. Of course, we had some action items to that, related to that this month. Received our updates. And adjourned at 6:05. Any corrections to our meeting minutes from July? I'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes.
So moved.
Ed, second.
Second.
Second from Randy. Gosh, you guys are like tag teaming today. That's fine. There's somebody. I approve. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you. Okay, first on the list, I'm going to turn it over to Blaine to talk about UGA's new micromobility policies, dismount zones, and e-mobility batteries in the dorms. Of course, we also talked to some students this past week, but kick it over to Blaine.
Hey, thanks. I was able to reach out to Dr. Dan Silk, the Vice President for Public Safety on campus to just get some feedback on how it's going so far. Just a general overview, university started a new policy this fall for e-scooters, e-bikes, anything with wheels, basically. Anything with a battery is not allowed inside buildings, not allowed inside dormitories. That's just a little bit of prevention of maybe potential fires or anything like that. We're not charging them inside the dorms or inside any academic buildings. They also created what they've designated as a dismount zone. It really runs from a big rectangle of East Campus Road in Lumpkin from Broad down to Carlton. It really spans the entire campus where you have to dismount a sidewalk in these areas. So early on, we don't have a ton of data to back from that. It's just started. What we're hearing is that compliance has been working so far in those areas. I say compliance, I take that as people are complying to the rule. I don't know how well that's actually affecting the, pedestrians and access in those areas yet. So, what Dr. Silk, he wanted me to pass along, he said he certainly is open to coming and speaking with our group. I think that'd be really good,
Yeah,
especially
that'd be
maybe in September, October, after we do have some feedback and some data and feedback. Even Art Edison, a professor on campus who you guys may know, is going to speak with him and meet with him tomorrow about some of the concerns. So he's collecting that kind of feedback, but he didn't want me to mention that this, while we have kind of established this policy, it is fluid and open to modifications and changes. But we really need to kind of get the feedback. We really need to have some data to back it up and to see what's really working and what's not before we can make some changes. But I got the impression that we're certainly open to making those changes. I looked at it as some of this is an opportunity. Maybe Art sent me an email and he mentioned a couple of things that there's some areas that we don't have bike access or bicycle access. And so maybe this is a potential, opportunity to increase some of the bike lanes or the infrastructures that we don't have established on campus through this program. Maybe it's a byproduct of making people do this. Now it'll raise a little bit of awareness in some of the other areas of campus that we don't have access to. So early on, that's kind of the approach I'm taking, a positive approach, trying to look at it that way. And Dr. Silk also wanted me to mention that the university received a Safe Streets for All grant in a 10-year study to create a traffic safety plan. And he said the key focus on that is going to be kind of the vulnerable road users. And that's pedestrian, bicycle, scooter, whatever it might be, vehicle, buses, everything. So that'll be a key focus of that 10-year study or 10-year safety plan, excuse me. So that's kind of all I have right now, but he sounded really positive about it and certainly open to the idea of coming and speaking to this group.
And we'd love to have him, and so just keep us informed. We can get, of course, it makes sense to have more data and everything. So I have a comment from Art that, and you're on this email too, that he okayed with me sharing, but maybe the first question I want to ask about, having the batteries in the dorms. There hasn't been any reported fires as of yet that we are aware of.
On campus?
Yeah, on campus.
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's purely preventative. It's not like there's a fire popping up in every dorm a semester or something like that. Okay.
Not at all. It's just, we're starting to see the increase in the number of them. And if, it's potential that if something did happen, it could get kind of out of hand because of the numbers that we're showing. And we're just trying to kind of, I think, stay on top of it.
Yeah. Is that because other campuses have had this kind of incident happen, or?
I think it's just some of the lithium ion batteries in general. In the parking world, we've seen it with some vehicles, some electric vehicles. And the major thing with those is once and it's not rampant by any means. It's just, you see it across the world every once in a while, it pops up. But once it happens, they're very difficult, almost impossible to put those fires out. You almost have to just let that battery run. It could take days or weeks before it runs down. Just pouring water on it doesn't put these fires out. And in a parking garage specifically, we have 12 of them on campus. It's certainly a concern there. Now, we've talked about, should we move some of the electric charging stations that we have outside of those type of facilities and put them on the outside? So we're kind of exploring that a little bit right now too.
Okay, yeah, so you're looking into possible places for students to be able to charge such vehicles outside?
Not, I'm talking.
Vehicles, not micromobility.
Yes, as long as specific vehicles.
Okay.
Are they looking at ways for students to charge micromobility outside?
Not as far as I know.
Okay. Yeah, and that's something we can talk to Dr. Silk about potentially in a month, if there's, that's something that is a possibility. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was curious about that. And certainly, of course, it's ACC Fire Department that will have to respond to such fires, right? And UGA does not have their own fire department, so that pulls in ACC. Okay. I wanted to read Art's comment since he couldn't be here and he okayed me sharing this. And so Art is a member of the commission, is a faculty member. And as Blaine said, he's personally just reaching out to Dr. Silk as a private citizen, not on behalf of the commission or anything, but he's having those conversations. But something Art said was, I completely understand the concern that many have about the proliferation of scooters on campus. They're literally everywhere these days, and I'm always worried about accidents with scooters and cars. I also understand that these, as well as bikes, have the potential to cause problems in congested pedestrian areas on campus. As a campus pedestrian, it is nicer right now to walk without all the scooters. As a bicyclist, my options for safe cycling have been severely reduced. And he also said, I think the policy implemented was too restrictive and will ultimately harm efforts to make campus more bike friendly. And that's something, it sounds like, the campus has started broad with the dismount policy, but there's some figuring out to do. There's potential for that.
Absolutely. That's the feeling I'm getting. And to Art's point, I think this is the hardest part and what we're trying to do is to create that balance of can we be safe for pedestrians and bicyclists and scooters all at once? How do we do that? And that's kind of what we're searching for right now. And it does feel a little restrictive, but I think in the effort for safety, I think that's the way we lean, at least initially. It's like, let's get really restrictive and then see where there's avenues to back off and modify those plans. But yeah, I think that's the tricky part is the balance. Like Art said, it's great as a pedestrian right now, but as a bicyclist, he's struggling, but I think, we can find that happy medium eventually. We just got to let it work out a little bit and see where the issues are.
Yeah, I talked to some students, but I want to open the floor and see if y'all have questions or comments, especially Randy and Teresa, who talked to some students at the Watch for Dogs event, which was great. Thank you, Teresa, for organizing that. Yeah.
I didn't really have any conversations about micromobility.
Okay.
I was really just focusing on more general, some handing out swag.
Yes, thank you. We're out. So, flag.
It did seem like, I didn't do a tally, but I mean, the vast majority of people were pedestrians. I mean, most of them got around by walking. And I remember a few saying that they were, happy that they didn't have to worry about being hit. But again, to the point I think you're heading towards too, is that it does just kind of, I always saw a lot of people, especially the Greenway coming in from Barnett Shoals, a lot of kids coming in on their scooters, which, I mean, now is a problem with the bridge too, but to compound it. But anyway, it makes it kind of tough for. But I certainly understand that you want to take an approach of, don't want people getting run over. And there were comments made that, I was skimmed or I got hit. Or,
Step one, nobody dies. Step
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, and we'll swing the pendulum back to the middle.
If you just piggyback on there, just in the beginning of the transportation parking industry, years ago, we had the same kind of issue with motorcycles and mopeds. Before these e-scooters, there was people on mopeds. And speaking to people, what we felt is like we heard all from motorcycle riders and not really much from the moped users. And the thought was that motorcycle riders they cared a little bit more about their vehicle, their motorcycle and their transportation and then their commute. And the scooters were just kind of there and they would leave them and they didn't really care as much. And I think there's a kind of a correlation there between like bicyclists and these e-scooters. That's kind of, you didn't talk to really any e-scooter. They weren't at the Watch for Dogs. They didn't really, but maybe some bicyclists came up and spoke about it because they care a little bit more.
They're a passionate bunch. I will admit.
Yeah. I talked to some students, and of course, this is all anecdotal, so this is not like data, a good sample, or anything like that. And I, asked them about how they felt about the dismount zones, and the ones who were in a couple of years that, they did have a sense that they weren't having to check over their shoulder all the time when they're walking on campus. But that seemed to be in reference not to like people on bikes coming up behind them, but the scooters, and just the sort of maybe lack of consideration, or, just a lack of awareness there. Because and I'm sure like people who they're just taking scooters, they're not bad people or anything like that. It's a great way to get around campus. And then what was I going to say? Oh, but I did talk to one student who acknowledged, like, this generation, my generation, we're not the most aware folks. We're pretty distracted too, which is one of the reasons why I like the Watch for Dogs events, because it does imply like, oh, we all have to like pay attention. And it's not creating like, oh, it's the scooter's fault, it's the bicyclist's fault, it's the pedestrian's fault. It's like, okay, here's all of our responsibility.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a generational thing, okay? I mean, as an undergraduate many years ago, and certainly a different generation, maybe too, I almost died multiple times because my head was in the clouds and I'd step out off a curb and, all of a sudden see a bus barreling down at me and everything.
Sure.
I mean, it happened a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Because I was too busy contemplating my term paper for my 20th century American novel class,
Thank you.
But you probably didn't have headphones.
True that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That helps with the awareness.
Yeah.
those are great points. And I mean, many of the students who come to campus, it's not like they have been spending their whole lives in a high pedestrian area. Probably
Yeah.
not walking around a lot unless they are from a bigger city that has a lot of this infrastructure. So there's probably a lot that everyone can do. I talked to a few people who were wary of being in the road. And so when we think about things like, safety for people walking, what about safety for people who are on micromobility? Because no one, as far as I know, no pedestrian has died by being hit by a scooter. But we do have people on bikes and on foot who have been killed in our roads. So I'm heartened to hear like that UGA has a Safe Streets for All grant, and they'll be looking at that. Maybe the other thing I'll say is like, I hope that we can find some kind of in-between place, because the thought of having to push my bike all the way up Purdy Drive in a place where that's a place where maintenance vehicles go anyway. I wonder if there's some compromise there. So I'm hoping.
Does it apply in roadways? Like, I mean, could you ride your e-bike up the hill in the road?
Yes,
Okay.
you can, yeah. And some people are not clear on the dismount zones too, because it just had to be a blanket.
It's a blanket polygon that covers all roads too, so that's what's confusing, I think.
So throughout the policy, it really stipulates sidewalks. Multiple times it says sidewalks, like, you're not allowed to ride on sidewalks, even within that, that dismounted zone.
Is it the same point of contact for the policy and for the battery policy?
The dismount zone?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
I believe so. It came out, together. I believe so, yeah. Yeah, and I know, certainly, I think when I kind of mentioned about the bicycles versus scooters, I think the bicycle will be more vocal. And like obviously Dr. Stokes meeting with Art, and he told me he also was meeting with a student about bicycles too. So he's open to meeting and feedback, and I think he wants to collect all that and see what we can do, because we don't want to restrict access. We don't want to restrict, alternative transportation methods.
Yeah, right.
Got parking spaces and buses, and we want to make sure however people are going to get there, they can get there and they can get there safely. And that is a concern too, Art. You hit it on the head about now we're moving the scooters into the road where maybe previously they've been on the sidewalks, and what does that do for safety, and what does that do for traffic and congestion on campus? There's those kind of things that I'm also curious about.
They do any speed studies on those roads?
I do not know, but I know that there has been some new speed humps, like back on River Road, that were never there before. So I guess almost tables.
Yeah.
I don't know what the height is, but I'm not sure what they did before they
Okay.
as
'Cause
far as
I mean,
research.
I've never gotten the feeling that there was a big speeding problem on those roads sort of inside that rectangle that you're describing.
I don't think, no. Minus, I mean, it has so many lights and traffic, you can't really,
Kind of
Right.
can't speed.
maybe East Campus Road, River Road definitely there was opportunity to speed there and they put the speed. Yes.
There was certainly no speeding on Village Avenue this afternoon.
And River Road also doesn't have any bicycle lanes.
Bad, bumper to bumper.
No,
Sidewalk just kind of dies.
and that brings up a point, like, I've seen maps that identify that as a multi-use path, but because it's concrete, it is considered a sidewalk. So multi-use paths have also been, during the dismount hours, you're not allowed to ride a bike or micromobility on those.
That needs some clarity.
Okay,
I just keep seeing sidewalks.
because there are concrete, there's 16-foot wide sidewalks in some places that previously have been shown on a map as multi-use path, saying it's designated for bikes as well, but that's, I think, the question, I guess, is kind of 10-foot sidewalk, 12-foot, like, and then is there a plan for signage to alert users on the ground? Because it can be really difficult to like look at a map and know for some people where that falls.
Sure. And a lot of people aren't going to look at the map too.
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, no, those are two good points. And to that, I don't know how much research they did on sidewalk versus multi-use path. I know the area that Lauren's speaking about, and it's very wide, and there certainly is utility trucks that have to access that. There's pedestrians, certainly, but there's vehicle access,
Yeah,
not emergency, but
Service fee.
utility service fee.
an emergency if needed.
But yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
But no, that's something I will certainly take back. Art had a couple ideas and one of them was some signage or, road designation, things like that, so that we can kind of increase the awareness there.
There is also some asphalt roads that are closed to vehicles, but open to pedestrians that are service roads as well. And I think that's like, I'm thinking around like, if I remember correctly, like around Snelling up in like the DW Brooks Mall area, maybe a few years back, there's like some areas that are service vehicle only. But is that considered roadway?
I think anything that is a road right now is.
Asphalt is okay to ride on, concrete, unsure, depending on the width.
Well, that kind of disturbs me. I don't think that our riders should be obliged to be authoritative on surfaces. Okay, I think it needs to be more signage, this is a sidewalk, keep your bike off of it.
This
This is,
here,
yeah, dismount here, right,
bicycles okay here.
yeah, I think,
So far, I've only seen something at a couple of entry points that this is a designated dismount zone. I don't know, between A and B, what is there, if anything. So yeah, certainly there's validity to that. Yeah, this in Art, and not to steal all Art's thunder, he had some other very good ideas too about, dismount only during peak times and, things like that. That might be really good. Right now, it's just a blanket. It's all day, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, excuse me.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not so much a time, so much as like, look at the context, like all micromobility should yield in all places across the county to pedestrians in the same way that vehicles yield to both bikes and pedestrians. And if you're on a micromobility scooter, you're coming up on an area that has a lot of pedestrians in front of you. It's really easy to just dismount and walk through them. And so if there's a way that can be captured, where maybe it's kind of like this thing can be, enforced with a ticket. If you're like, then, that obviously raises some questions of, well, what is an appropriate capacity and congestion? But that's often kind of the same concern was brought up for College Square Plaza, regarding well, there's gonna be a lot of people here, so I don't know if we should allow bikes to go through here. But like 90% of the time, it's not gonna be filled with pedestrians. So if there's a clear space that bicyclists can go through College Plaza, generally they can kind of make their own judgment on like dismount if, yield to pedestrian kind of.
It's a distance-based formula where dismount for pedestrians within 20 feet or something like that.
I think all these are,
Yeah,
good idea. I think sometimes we're thinking about the amount of people we're potentially dealing with and the ability to follow the map or follow the rules, maybe. I think sometimes we have to really establish more than just something that's not so kind of subjective of like,
Right.
I thought it was 20 feet or you thought it was 10,
Yeah.
but,
A lot of these kids were high school seniors last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think anything's off the table. I think just we're in the fashion of just compromise and, adjustment, understanding that we had to kind of get something out there to establish it. And then if we can peel back and still be safe and, make some people happy, I think they'll be open to it.
I think the data that we're hoping to gather does not include pedestrian and bicycle fatality data.
No.
Obviously that is something to look at, but hopefully there's not an increase in that in the meantime, I guess.
Yeah, and I honestly, you said data, I think it's more gonna be fairly anecdotal, like Lauren said, because I don't think they're out there to look to write a bunch of citations or anything like that either. From what I heard the first couple of weeks, it was more education. It was more kind of stopping people, educating them about it, and then trying to hit them hard with some kind of moving violation or referring to student conduct or anything like that.
I was looking at the Athens subreddit the other day, and one of the articles showed a picture of I think a police officer standing on Baldwin Street, enforcing. I think they said they're ready to hand out citations, but I think that was more the author than the circumstances. It was Reddit after all.
Yes.
Great. Well, it sounds like we can get in the weeds on this in like maybe another month or so, or whenever Dr. Silk is ready. And yeah, we'd love to chat with him about it. And I think, we want the students to have a good experience, because if they start riding on campus like their first or second year, then they're more likely to carry that through the whole time they're here. Even if they move off campus, there's that, which keeps traffic down and things like that. And the thing that I want to pay attention to, especially for this commission, is when in the past we have had situations where we have recommended a bike infrastructure or a piece of sidewalk, and then the commission, like the mayor and commission, which, that is their right to do, has changed our recommendation to a multi-use path. And so we should keep that in mind, particularly in dense areas, because if we implement a multi-use path, then at some point and someone's just like, actually, this is just a wide sidewalk, then we lose that infrastructure for micro mobility. So we should just, I think, that's one of the reasons why I'm following this.
Yeah.
Particularly when we get into down the line, this is probably after our time, but someday we redo Millage Avenue and somebody says, let's do a multi-use path. Is that really going to be a comfortable environment for people walking and on scooters? So those are just things like, one of the reasons why I'm following this kind of closely, to see what happens and what things we can do, like does signage help? Does speed limit signs help? Enforcement, those kinds of things. So thanks. That was a bit of an extended conversation. Thank you, Blaine. That's great. I love that. Hear that, you're just seeing how it's going and that there's room for tweaking on campus.
Yeah, happy to be a vessel too, if we want to pass anything else on, but I think if we can get him in here, which seems like it could happen, it'll be really, really good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Right. A little over time. That was a great conversation. So, T-SPLOST 2026. Great.
So we've only had one meeting since a while. But so we had the 90 million that was first presented, $90 million worth of projects first presented to the mayor and commission. They really didn't comment a whole heck of a lot on it. other than, thanking people for participating. And, but then we were tasked with then trimming it down to 60 million, which is what was allocated to the T-Splosh committee. So essentially all we did was, there was one $30 million project, the bridge.
Yeah.
That got dropped.
Okay.
Now we're at 60. Now it's a matter of waiting for final approval from the mayor and commission, and then starting up the committee to, start publicizing what projects are out there and get ready for the upcoming election. So, yeah.
There's gonna be a public comment period, right? Like mid-October to December or something like that?
Yeah, I would think so. And yeah, please comment, at least on the trimming from 200 million to 60 million. That sucked.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about the pre-designation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was quite upset. I think actually you may have trouble finding people next year to sit on
It's
the,
pretty lousy.
yeah.
Is it because we don't have a county manager? Is that kind of part of the problem?
No, they just, the mayor and commission allocated 140 million to other projects and left 60 for the,
Yeah, and there's a need for that. I mean, these are TPW projects too, some other stuff and transit and it's all important. It's just, T-Splosh has become the way we fund our infrastructure. And it's a special purpose.
special purpose.
Yeah.
Not routine.
Yes.
Right. And then things are getting more and more expensive. It's harder to find construction teams. They don't charge a lot. It's hard to get them to come out here to Athens. There's a lot of reasons for that. And then nothing is cheap. So, okay. Thank you, Randy.
Sure.
All right, plan revision update. Thank you everyone who commented on the roads and sidewalks that are going to, I guess, candidates to be in the 2025 plan. I appreciate that. Everyone getting that in. You see, I sent that email that we were done at 12:01 a.m. So, but thank y'all for that. So I wanted to ask Daniel just like where we are and next steps with that, like in standby.
Yep, they are incorporating feedback from you guys as well as there was a separate map that went out to staff. So we got some comments on there as well. So they're going to be incorporating all of those, and we are currently moving forward. We just had our first meeting today about public engagement, and so the goal is to have a pop-up at Porch Fest. As far as other tabling opportunities go, the communications committee is, they will be creating engagement tools. They're only going to do one pop-up as part of their scope to keep the cost low, but communications can do as many pop-ups as they want to get the word out, get engagement.
Our communications committee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Athens and Motion Commission, Communications Committee. So
It's a committee of one at the moment.
perfect. So this commission as a whole can decide which,
Yes.
if people are available to do some events. I know it can be tricky because oftentimes, these events are not like, oh yeah, come set up a table for an hour or two. It's kind of like, oh, sign up, you got to be there for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it can be hard, but any ideas of how we can do other pop-ups are open. So.
Will the consultants be giving us some information that we could use at a pop-up? Because,
Yes,
the
they're-
content is always an issue.
They are preparing the engagement materials and they will supply that. So,
Okay, so basically what they do they're choosing Porch Fest, their event.
yeah, that's the main event that we're gonna do as a pop-up.
Okay, so then we can take those materials or those links and use them going forward.
Mhm.
So yeah, so are we thinking like the engagement period then is gonna be like October, November, like this kind of fall is what we're thinking?
Katie, you don't happen to remember the engagement timeline, do you? Sorry, we have like 3 different engagement things going on.
Yeah.
If not, that's absolutely okay. You are muted if you are trying to talk. All right, she might not be there right now. Yeah, whenever we just had our first meeting today. The goal is to hit Porch Fest, so I imagine that is probably gonna be start.
Mhm.
It may be mid-range timeline, but I'll let y'all know. Once we have all of that put together, we'll have flyers and yard signs and things
Okay.
like that, so.
What's the date for Porch Fest?
I believe it's the 16th of October, just off the top of my head.
It is, or was the,
It might be the 19th.
what, 19th?
He's a sign.
It's the, I have the.
Flip the number of, what's that?
The 19th?
The 19th. Mhm. Yeah, so maybe, Teresa, you will not be all alone in that. Maybe we decide like some areas we want to hit and see if there's any events going on that we can piggyback off of. I think if we try and do our own event, it's not gonna get us anywhere.
I think, didn't we do it at Authentic last?
That's the site that we're looking at.
For Porch Fest, yeah.
But that's something to be determined. We
Yeah.
gotta meet with the communications department and we have a plan. The next meeting will include the, budget and strategic analysis department, which is the GIS office. The old GIS office is housed in that department now. Yeah, there's gonna be a survey. There's going to be, we're kind of early concept, putting together the types of questions that we're gonna ask, so.
Right, so it sounds like we'll have a kit to work with and we just need to like find the events and bring the stuff along. Yeah, and probably we could so we could reach out to commissioners about setting up an event or about a potential event that would be good.
The mayor commissioning
Yeah, or
commissioners,
would you guys rather us not do that?
I can check.
Okay.
I don't think there's a problem with that.
Mhm.
It's your an advisory body,
Mhm.
always good.
Yeah, so we can offer, yeah, that's something that could be helpful too. We can probably have a short list of of events and then reach out to commissioners personally and be like, is there an event or is there a place and a time? Would you like us to just come to the nearest fire station one day and answer questions? Can you be there yourself? That way they have that opportunity. And we can say, we provided that opportunity. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Yeah. Thank you. All right, we're only like 10 minutes behind schedule. Moving on to our major items, starting with Safe Streets for All, work session on September 9th, and Vision Zero dashboard questions.
Can you shoot?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I can share the agenda. Great. We have Katie online. Katie. Mic check. We can come back to that. Daniel, if you're ready for your capital projects update that you have outlined here.
So this is just kind of like an overview of the next few months of items in our agenda items. So agenda items, meaning will be up for a mayor and commission vote. August, September means that the vote is in September. So there's a work session in August, vote in September for Hawthorne-Oglethorpe intersection. There's an eminent domain resolution. This is not actually enacting eminent domain. This is essentially whenever we do a right-of-way acquisition, if there's a property owner who just refuses to work with us, or maybe it's a complicated issue where the deed or something has no resolution, or there's multiple owners, sometimes we essentially, in order to even pursue it, we have to get permission. The mayor and commission have to vote to say we would allow eminent domain to happen here. So ultimately, that always comes from the commission. And just because if they do pass this eminent domain resolution, doesn't mean that that will be used. It just means that we have permission to use it now. Oftentimes, what's been told to me is once that resolution passes, then typically the negotiator for the project can say, look, I would rather work with y'all. Like, we can all win or we can all lose. But ultimately, once you have eminent domain resolution passed, it gives us the right to do that. And there's a lot more that we can do if it's not eminent domain. So
Negotiating with a gun is smoother than negotiating without a gun.
yeah.
Hold on.
Like that. I think I shouldn't agree to that on the record.
This metaphor.
So there's basically something regular. I honestly don't even really know. It's just that intersection has a resolution. So whatever, I don't know the property, I don't know the issue, but we're not really included in the North Chase Street, approving preliminary construction plans. And then moving into right-of-way acquisition and final design and a bid award phases. So the preliminary engineering plans, the preliminary construction plans, that's kind of 85% that gets approved. Then we move into right-of-way acquisition. This is all this is a comma between them because these are all separate actions that will be done in one agenda. So basically the North Chase Street roundabouts, a series of 3 roundabouts and multi-use path, all of that. I think it's from maybe Bryan Street up to Newton Bridge Road. That is essentially moving into right away. Is the quickest and easiest way to say that. Thomas and Washington intersection. This is the location where some pedestrians. It's a RRFB intersection, uncontrolled. There were some pedestrian deaths there earlier this year. It's kind of right at the Classic Center. So we have some traffic calming measures going in to kind of narrow, do bulb outs, bring more light to when that RRFB is activated or actuated. There's a light that lights up similar to what you see at our new East Broad mid-block crossing down at the Athens Line Railroad, kind of right there near, it's kind of uphill from the multimodal center. Anyways, when you push that walk button, it illuminates the crosswalk, making it a lot easier to see pedestrians. So
It's also very loud. It becomes your voice. Like walk sign is on, and I feel like it's actually yelling at vehicles, which I like.
I didn't realize if it's too loud, we might need to.
Well,
stop.
I kind of like that it announces.
Well, so
my presence.
there's some new stuff through PROWAG, the public right-of-way accessibility guidelines. So those with vision impairment, if the call button is too loud, it actually makes it where they can't hear the tires of vehicles anymore. So it becomes unsafe for them. So I might just have to check into that. I don't know.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I like words.
And then the West Broad roundabout, there is a memorandum of agreement with GDOT to transfer funds for the construction. So I believe that is moving forward.
When is that supposed to start?
We can,
Still too early for that?
let's maybe have the commission ask that officially and I will let y'all know.
It's, we're officially asking when the project starts. I think I did kind of look for it on GDOT's project pages like a couple weeks ago and I couldn't figure it out. I think there was something just about like the public engagement.
Yeah. I will get that back to you and maybe we can put it on the agenda for next month. And if I find out before then, I will let y'all know. The last thing here is then, in September to October, that agenda item is the residential traffic management program, project list. So that is, a list of roads that gets reanalyzed or analyzed every, year. And that's just gonna be an updated project list for those funds.
Who analyzes that list?
It's either traffic engineering or us, transportation planning or traffic engineering. I believe this was done by Jason and Eddie, our GIS person, so. But it's essentially, the policy is there and it kind of, the policy has a lot to do with, speeds, 85th percentile, stuff like that. So as we see changes in the speeds and, areas that are kind of most dangerous from a data-driven standpoint, they get bumped up higher on the list. So that's why we reanalyze it every year. Then we've got mayor and commission work sessions. So we've got, these are work session only, so they don't have a vote tied to them. Safety action plan, September work session. So I can't remember, the public can speak at voting sessions. Does this public also speak at work sessions?
They don't speak at work sessions as far as I know. It's agenda setting and then, voting.
Cool.
To my knowledge.
And I believe there is a tentative placeholder for Jefferson River Road multi-use path and the CY 26 pavement repaving plan. So there are some big things, knock on wood, coming with our Athens in Motion projects.
Okay.
So I believe we're mostly through the right-of-way phase, but I was not directly on those updates. I'll have to, once we're ready, once we have more as that date gets closer, we'll know if it's an October, November cycle and what that looks like. So that next meeting, hopefully we'll have more information regarding those projects.
And so what would they be voting on for the Jefferson River Road?
It would be whatever the next phase is for it. If you go up to what we have for North Chase Street, approved preliminary construction plans, move into right-of-way acquisition, final design and bid award phases. If Jefferson, I can't remember the status of Jefferson River Road. It could be that phase, or it could be the one after that, which is essentially letting for construction. I'm not sure. So it'd be really great if we had an easier way to track the project management of all of these.
Yeah.
But we'll have more updates coming up. I do believe I saw Katie pop up video over there. So if you want to go back up to her section.
Yeah, Katie, I saw that you got your mic going. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. For Safe Streets for All.
As annual work sessions to make sure the Mayor Commission knows our progress on this and hopefully tee it up.
Your connection seems to be kind of bad, Katie. Breaking up a lot.
We heard Mayor and Commission.
Yeah, I don't know how much info you need on the work session, but this will be the first of two. Can you hear me more now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, so to give the mayor and commission a chance to ask questions and really be updated on the safety action plan. So hopefully it'll be ready for them to accept in March is the target. So we'll be sharing brief overview of the progress so far. I know a lot of the deliverables have been drafted already. We had robust public engagement, including 400 survey responses. Shout out to Teresa and others on the commission for promoting that. And yep, that'll be the work session September 9th. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of feedback from the mayor and commission and make sure they know what we've been doing on that.
Great. Nice. And then you had Vision Zero dashboard questions.
I haven't been catching up with that. Daniel, do you know if, or are the questions from the commission to us or?
I think it was just an update. Let me look and see. Can you share your screen again? I'm just trying to find where it's at. I think it's more of just that I think it's kind of an update of like we're reviewing internally the Vision Zero dashboard. That might have been like did you talk to Jason at all? I think Jason had me write it down, but I can't remember the context now. It might have just been an update that we're working on a Vision Zero dashboard and kind of we're going to be asking what questions. We're currently kind of figuring out what data do we want people to see in the public.
Okay.
So if y'all happen to have like a list in your head of things that you know you want to see on that Vision Zero dashboard, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. Primarily to Katie, but you can CC myself as well as Jason. Just let us know, then we'll make sure that that can kind of carry through. But we've got like a full list of all the data that they have access to and all the fields that we want to track, and they're going to be figuring out from us how much data do we want to show, because there's kind of the public view, there's the staff view, and then there's the actual amount of data that we have. And so if we show all the data all the time, it's so overwhelming that it wouldn't necessarily mean much. So yeah, if y'all have any questions about it or you have ideas of what you'd like to see, reach out to us.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll probably, have some thoughts when it's out there. I think you guys will probably pretty well cover it just because you're professionals and I think we care about, the mode of transportation, time of day, who's involved. So I think we'll be pretty excited to see it. So yeah. Anything else, Katie, on that front? Safe Streets for All?
That's all on Safe Streets for All.
Okay. All right, well, we'll move into our general staff updates now.
Real quick, I do have an update. We don't have a specific time for construction start. The earliest that it would possibly be for the West Broad Roundabout, the earliest that construction would be is January. So no sooner than that, but it's
No guarantee of January either.
Right. It could get bumped as far as summer, who knows? So earliest is January.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so general staff updates, starting with Todd.
I'm here. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me get my screen up and sharing. Share. Okay, is it my screen shared?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I put it in presentation mode, but there it goes.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Firefly Trail Phase 3 expansion. So far, the concrete work is about 95% on segment 2, which is Rannick Road to Moss Road, Athena Drive. Basically, the only thing left to pour, I believe, is the ramps that connects to the roads. Segment 3, which is Moss Road, Athena towards Winterville, will soon start clearing next month. And then concrete work will continue on segment 1, Hancock Road, Hancock Road to Rannick. That's the side section that's a little more shady. So there's a couple of areas that are a little wetter. So they're having to make sure the subgrade's compacted and that kind of stuff before they start pouring and everything. So it's just they're going to be bouncing back and forth doing that. So and then for the MLK Junior Parkway, North Avenue from to East Broad Street Trail, we are having a public information open house. It's scheduled for September 4th at 5 to 7 at the Linden House. And the comment card and the page is up. If you go to Leisure Services Listens on ACC Gov, and then you'll come to there, and there's a project spotlight. And if you click on the project spotlight button, it will take you to the project page, and you can see the preliminary design and the standard comment card survey. So that's coming up, and it is live now. So the survey is the Greenway Trail under the bridge at Okeechobee Street. The bridge is currently under construction. So got 2 lanes demoed, and that one's still a ways out, but it's moving forward. And then the East Campus Greenway Bridge project. So the bridge piers have experienced some concrete spalling, and the original contractor is providing the corrective maintenance actions under the original construction contract language. So the repairs are covered by the contract. So that was, during a routine inspection, the spalling was seen, and so it's being taken care of.
Todd,
Yes.
can you explain what concrete spalling is?
I'm not an expert, but that's when it's like it's little chips of the asphalt are coming up, or not the asphalt, chips of the concrete are separating. So, almost like when you, if you've ever gone on a sidewalk and it's got little divots and stuff like that in it, it's just where I'm not really good at the spalling. I just know.
The finished surface has broken away, and you see like the raw concrete inside. Like really bad spalling is where like if you've walked along the sidewalk and you see like pieces of rock up above the concrete, it's like that finished top surface has broken away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is apparently on the columns.
Okay, on the columns.
Yeah. Yep. So it's on the columns.
Okay.
So the timeline to make the repairs is 6 to 8 weeks, starting in August. UGA has had a conversation with the Capital Improvements Office and the contractor, and they've agreed to have the work done by Friday, September 26th, as a kind of
That's the Alabama game.
That's the Alabama game. So it's a firm,
Like, I know this.
a very firm deadline that it will be open for pedestrian traffic by that date.
Yeah.
I mean, if everything goes according to plan, they will have it completed well within before that. But it's, we're just allowing them the necessary time to get the repairs done. And so they're supposed to, from what I understand, anytime just like you put steel plates on roads, they are going to put down plywood when they're not working, just in case somebody jumps the barriers at when they're not there in the evenings. And so it'll be safe, but please don't go on it at this point and that kind of stuff. But it'll
Don't
be
do it.
Don't.
so.
So Todd, is it spalling on the concrete walkway surface or the pillars itself?
I believe it's the pillars itself.
Okay.
I have not got. I'm not. I got so many projects. I don't. It's a maintenance thing, so I haven't gotten into the
Right.
gritty details of it. And the SPLOST office is, our capital improvements office is doing all the management of it, and so I'm not super looped into the project. So I don't know all the details about what's going on.
But the general take is like, this issue was uncovered during inspection. It is an important issue to resolve. That's why it is being done now and not postponed until, say.
Yes. So
You
right
know.
now it's just a minor issue. And so they're just trying to take care of that and that problem.
Gotcha. Well, we know that you're in park planning and that maintenance is not really, this is not really your wheelhouse, but we
Yeah.
thank you for being our source and providing us. This is a lot more information I think we had heard.
Okay.
So thank
Okay.
you.
And that should be everything that I have.
I did have one more question for you, and that is about the timeline for the North Oconee Bridge project. Because I think I have seen in the GDOT project plans that bridge expects to be completed at the end of 2026, but I know we've always heard 2028, 2028, 2028.
Yeah. That was the timeline that the capital office had given me. So it may be the fact that we can't technically start our trail under the bridge until they are finished with what they're working on. So that may be the why it's, but I would have to clarify with Derek in the capital improvements office if the deadline has moved up any. And I'll get that answered for you by the next meeting.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. See, I was surprised online to see like, oh, this is only gonna take place over 2 football seasons and not 3.
Yeah. And so so my number may just have the trail part wrapped into it.
Okay, yeah.
And that kind of stuff. I may have misunderstood him when he was saying this is the completion date.
Okay, yeah, thank you for getting that clarified. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Todd, too, if I could ask, the Firefly Trail, I saw they had the, where you're talking about the clearing from Moss to Winterville. I saw they had the surveyor's marks going up. And then, of course, they disappear where the railroad line goes between those two farms. You know, are we clear all the way to Winterville or still?
Well, right
progress.
now, they're still working on those easements for 9 residences right there, past the farms.
Right.
And so they're still working on those. But what they're calling segment 3 is what you're saying. It starts at Moss and goes to basically those farms where that is
Okay.
what, and then it stops at those where those I guess those where the residential area starts.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, so still working on those last easements, Derek's life project.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number of easements. I have it written down, but it's not quickly available. But he's working on them.
Okay. Any other questions for Todd? Great, thank you.
Yes.
Great, all right, next up for updates, transit. How's it going?
Hi, hello everybody. It's just Jeremy and I today. Jeremy will kick us off with some service change updates, and then I have additional updates that's not regarding our operations. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to provide a brief update on transit service. On August 11th, we did some service adjustments that included implementing earlier and later trip times on our routes, particularly the routes that run Monday through Friday. So they start an hour earlier and they end about 30 minutes later. So now they complete their very last trip in its entirety. We also implemented 30-minute frequency on routes 5 and route 20. Also, regarding frequency updates, we implemented those same updates on routes 12 and 14, and they run about 25 minutes headways. Also with that, we decided to extend evening service on those routes. So they now end at 9:30 p.m. Historically, this has never been done. It reflects a response to longstanding customer requests for that area. Um, so we are really excited about that. Also on August 25th, Monday of this week, we implemented detours on 2 of our routes, routes 25 and route 27. So basically, they were detoured to improve on-time performance, particularly considering like the influx of more traffic which started for fall semester, and also another impact to those two routes was the reconstruction of the Kona Street Bridge at Williams. So it impacted on-time performance for those routes. Like sometimes during the day they would run an hour behind. So that was our remedy for that issue. But yeah, those were like the main 2 updates I had regarding the service side of things. And a brief note, on Monday, September 1st, we will be closed in observance of Labor Day.
Thanks, Jeremy. Along with that, for service change, we are allotted 2 service changes, minor service changes per year, and major service changes every 2 years, I believe. It's tentative, but we're planning to have a minor service change in December. Also, we are going to be publishing a survey specifically for fixed routes in October. That's going to be survey 123. Hopefully those layers will be helpful and those data points will be helpful for TPW as well. And then along with that, recently, last week, I believe, Go Georgia's planner, her name's Grace, reached out to us and we had a quick meeting. She came to us as part of organization that she also works with called Georgia Ford. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. And she's in this program that's called Young Game Changers. And that was an interesting meeting. We talked and shared information about our views for regional transit, where we want to improve on our micromobility initiatives and our partners within the local government and also local Athens area. We're hoping to get those updates and those takeaways and recommendations. And if you guys are also interested in that, we'd be happy to share that with you once those are finalized. I believe that's everything that we have planned to speak about. Are there any questions?
No, I just was going to clarify because I know you guys have the numbers and the routes in your head pretty well. And we, I think I have maybe 1 or 2 routes. I know what they are pretty well. So there's been frequency increase on Route 5, which is Beechwood and Baxter. And then you said also Route 20, which is Georgia Square Mall.
Correct.
Okay. And then the hours have been extended on 12 and 14. Those are major, I think, like student faculty routes. So that's Riverbend Road and Millage and Lumpkin, right?
Correct. Yes.
Right. Cool. And then also there have been some shifts. There's detours on, you said 25 and 27, and those are the ones I'm more familiar with. That's 25 is Lexington Gaines School and the 27 is Barnett Cedar Shoals. Sound right?
You got
Yes.
it. You got all of them.
Okay, well, I have your pages pulled up on my computer too.
Okay.
I wanted to, yeah,
And here
I
I
wanted
thought.
Yeah.
We were all impressed up until
I
then.
know. I'm still impressed by you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, again, the routes that are closest to me, I'm like, okay, I know what that one is, but then I have to be like, okay, which one is 20 again? All right. Great. And yeah, so thank you for that. So you said you're allowed 2 minor changes every year and then 2 major changes every 2 years. Did I get that right?
It's 2 minor service changes within each year, 1 year, and then 1 major service change every 2 years.
Okay, and that's set by like policy, mayor and commission kind of thing.
Policy.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. That is as far as I am up to date with in terms of that policy. However, well, it depends, what the new mayor and commission will want to do, and also now that we have a city manager. But yes, we're still on track and hoping to do our second minor service change in December.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, thank you all for that. And yeah. Any questions? Okay. Thanks for being part of our meetings, y'all. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Planning. Any updates?
No specific updates. There's future land use map updates happening, constantly developments going on in different projects throughout the county.
Where are we with the future land use?
So I know that's a little more on the other, there's 2 divisions within our department,
sure.
a little more on the other division, so I don't work as much on a day-to-day basis with the future land use updates. I know it's kind of getting more towards finalizing it. But I can try to get more solidified update for next meeting.
Okay, yeah, I was just
But
curious.
exactly where we're at with that and the timeline for the upcoming budget. Yeah, unless there's any other specific questions or like for the next meetings, if there's any specific updates you'd like more so from the planning department.
Okay.
Be happy to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to work with Daniel on like what things we're allowed to ask. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we're always busy with a lot of stuff going on, so yeah,
Sure.
just if you let me know like what specific updates you'd like from our department, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
If anything.
yeah. I'll scheme with the commission and Daniel, but we'll be gentle.
How often do plan developments come through planning department?
It really depends.
I know that those are generally the types of things that we can kind of require things such as multi-use paths or bike connectivity on those plan developments. And maybe if we know it far enough ahead of time, like there's this plan development that would give like a month where commissioners could kind of go see the site and think about connectivity, maybe.
Yep. I'll look into that, so yeah, usually, I guess it'd be before it is seen by, when it's being reviewed by staff. For comments and such, and before it goes to the planning commission and mayor commission and such.
Okay, yeah, so we can get in the queue and complicate things with our opinions.
And it could even be like, once you've presented it to the planning commission, maybe just letting us, because what the AM commission could do is show up in support of, or, you know, if there's something related to bikes or pedestrian connectivity.
Right, yeah, or
Maybe.
trails or something.
Because I don't think, you know, I'm not necessarily, it would not make sense to bring stuff to the AM commission before it goes to the planning commission, you know, but just to kind of have a tap into what types of things planning is working on.
Right, yeah, for sure. Thank you. All right, kicking it back over to Transportation and Public Works for some general updates before we go into crash report. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we bring up Katie's crash report?
Are there any questions about any projects, or I'm focusing on the Athens in Motion plan. Katie's focusing on the safety action plan. Got the bridge improvement program, which is getting going. It's still just federal dollars. There's well, Athens in Motion is not federal, but there's also the Reconnecting Communities. That'll probably be popping up in the next few months with we'll have an agenda item to approve a contract for a firm to do the work on that Reconnected Communities project. That's the one on Hawthorne and Oglethorpe and Alps. And then that'll be a lot of extra public engagement and talking to the community. So that's kind of the next big project after everything that we're working on right now. And then North Avenue, I think we're kind of in a holding pattern there. I haven't heard any updates lately.
So we don't know if that's been approved to convert into a planning grant. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I will probably get with y'all and staff to do an updated version of where the projects are, that list that we did in the spring for the annual report. So I'll probably just kind of look at that and just update that, and I will get with y'all in the next couple months on that. Heads up. All right, crash reports. Katie, do you want me to drive for that?
Yeah, could you put the report up?
Yeah.
Or actually I might be able to, but if you've got it there, yeah, we could just walk through it.
Say that again?
Yeah, will you put it up?
Okay, yes, I can pull it up. And I did update the agenda. I'm sorry for leaving off pages. This is my first time trying to attach it, so hopefully everything is on there now.
Yeah, it looks great. Thank you. Right, so we had 306 crashes in July. This is actually, we got under 10 crashes per day on average. I can put this on there, but you know, I think that was Jason's idea to keep track of the different months of the year. So it was 9.9 per day, contrasted with, you know, March and April we had 14 and 16. One fatality was the motorcyclist that we actually spoke about last time because it had already happened. This time, none of our bike and ped crashes were serious or fatal, which is always nice. Let's actually, you can go back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Go back up.
That's good. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so July. Oh, that's good, right? Actually, I think this is kind of a typical breakdown of crash severity. Okay, you can go on. Yeah, so five serious and fatal crashes, all all motorized vehicles. And again, July is, I think, typically a lighter month for crashes. Go ahead. Yeah, just the year-to-date numbers. We're up to 7 fatalities now. Moving on to the maps. Yeah, as usual, one of these days I'm going to overlay it on the on our high injury network, or actually that might be a component of our Vision Zero dashboard.
Right.
But kind of the usual suspects, Lexington Road, Atlanta Highway, for our injury crashes. Going on.
Ooh.
Yeah, interesting. All our pedestrian crashes were along Lexington.
Yeah, do we
but
have
again,
those?
All right, and we can go into the descriptions.
Wow.
Yeah, notably, we actually just did a road safety audit of Gaines School Road, including this area right around the crosswalk at McDonald's and Goodwill, which is where we had the double fatality earlier this year. So the person was just recorded as an injury complaint, but you see this location pop up, unfortunately, frequently.
Yeah.
All right, on the next page, we have, oh, yeah, someone was biking on the Athens Highway. I think I actually might have seen this person. But yeah, unusual, but and I had noted that it seemed like the officer cited the bicyclist for driving on the Atlanta Highway. I'm not aware of that being an offense, but that's something I'm gonna look into.
But you're saying that the person biking was cited for biking on Atlanta Highway?
That's what it looks like from the report, and for not having a road light.
Okay. And
I think it was being on the road without operable lights was the issue.
There was 2 citations though, right? Yeah.
That's correct.
terminate fault to be right.
Oh, right and not,
riding
yeah.
a bike on the roadway and not having what? Yeah, I'm confused about that.
That's not a limited access road.
It's
Yeah. So I'm curious what.
Definitely.
Yeah, so let's move that road. That's other things on that road.
Yeah, so are we, well, we're not the law and we're not officers. That would,
Right.
but
It might be it might be an opportunity for a conversation with the police department. Yeah, it's something I'll look into. We do have another bike injury. Someone on an e-bike on East Broad.
Wall Street. Ejected onto Hood. Tried to pass and then.
Yeah, it was a little unusual. It was hard to describe, but I didn't want to paste the whole description there. It looked like the person on the e-bike was in the rightmost lane, the driver was in the left lane, and then started to cut over to get to the parking, and didn't. It sounded like the e-bike operator thought the driver had tried to pass in front of them, but perhaps the e-bike person was going faster than the person in the car realized.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to interpret from the description, but yeah. And next, yeah, the homicide. I'm sorry, the fatality from last time. Very sad. Again, Thomas Street is trying to be a hot spot, but we do have some interventions going in, as Daniel described. And the driver was booked for 3 charges, including homicide by vehicle.
Yeah. It's really.
The other, yeah. I think two of these are a testament to the importance of wearing a seatbelt. And then the one where the 4 people on Timothy, it was really unclear what caused that, but
Wow.
yeah.
It's right near my neighborhood.
Yes.
I don't think the tree did very well.
Yeah, probably not. That's all for this month. Any questions or discussion items?
What's the gator overturn?
That's
A gator is
utility vehicle.
Four-wheeler.
Four-wheelers, like kind of
Yeah. It's
the gator is the one that usually has,
worthy vehicle.
right. Well, I guess if you have a license tag on it, maybe, but I don't know that they are issued for those vehicles.
They don't go very fast.
But that is a utility, or they're not called ATVs, they're like UTVs?
Yeah.
Utility terrain vehicle? I don't know.
Something like that. It could be called an ATV too.
Yeah,
It's how you haul your deer out of the woods.
we call it a mule because we have the mule brand, not the gator brand, but it's usually named after an animal.
Advanced golf cart. Got it.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thought it was some sort of fraternity issue.
Florida man brought his gator up.
Exactly.
All right, Katie,
Yeah,
thank you. I'm sorry, were you gonna add something?
Nope, all set. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, and thank you for getting this out ahead of our agenda so we can include that with the agenda each month. That's really helpful. I hope, this can be available for the public to see.
Do we think that once we have the dashboard, will that be, will this document kind of be replaced by a dashboard that we like look at interactively, or?
I think I'd like a
do we wanna
snapshot. I'd like,
continue this?
my take on it is, I like these updates. I like having them talked about in a meeting setting in this county. Like we've had, as far as I know, we've had no homicides this year in Clarke County, which is great, but we continue to have people lose their lives on our roads. So I think it's worthwhile to talk about in some way. And I'm open to discussing like what that looks like with the Vision Zero dashboard going forward, and what works for you all and Katie as staff. But I really appreciated the crash reports. Because I think sometimes we hear about these fatalities, often it's very early and there's not enough information, so a little bit of time passes. And we know this is still all preliminary, under investigation, alleged, all that kind of stuff, but it's still, I think, helpful.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably will lean on the data and charts from the dashboard, but I don't think the dashboard will have the crash reports available. So
Right.
that adds a little bit if you guys want to continue hearing the brief descriptions of certain crashes.
Yeah.
We can go in that direction.
Yeah, I think we do. Okay, moving on, Daniel, you won't be here on September.
Nope. Jason will be running the meeting.
All right, we'll have to be nice to Jason.
I give him the full run through.
Yeah. Any other updates from staff?
None from me. You know what? We do have a new person. Are they on there? Thought I saw him earlier. Hugh, are you still on the meeting? Okay, I think he is no longer on the meeting. Hugh is with Northeast Georgia Regional Commission, NEGRC. We have a seat that just hasn't had anyone attending from there for a while, so he did reach out to me. So just saw the email after the meeting started, so I'll hopefully we might need to in the next month maybe add. And he is the bike head, believe. Let me see the title. I don't have a title.
The transportation planner for any GRC.
Thank you,
Tina. I have not met Hugh yet, but the name is familiar, so maybe I have. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he just graduated from the Masters of Urban Planning and Design program.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so he will probably be attending these meetings virtually or in person, whichever is his preference. And you guys are always welcome to come in person if you want, but we don't have any snacks or anything, so.
Yeah.
I guess in addition, something that we forgot to mention is that we're also, speaking of dashboards, working on a dashboard for transit. Hopefully that'll be posted by the end of the year. And we are actually working and having a meeting with Northeast Georgia Regional Commission second week of September to talk about our regional transportation vision.
Great, I'm just updating my list of like who was here. Okay. Great, so I'll move on to committee and org report backs. Anything from Lexington, Randy?
No, we had a meeting scheduled, but unfortunately Derek had technical issues and it did not happen. And he hasn't sent an update. He said he had one, but haven't seen it.
For Prince Avenue, Diana sent this update for the corridor, for the Prince Jefferson corridor, the design team met with GDOT to discuss coordination between signal improvements project and the Jefferson Road, Jefferson River Road intersection improvements. And GDOT doesn't have any issues with what they're proposing. They're going to continue to coordinate with them as soon as they develop a preliminary construction plan for the Prince corridor. The design team continues to work through the Mayor Commission defined option. And we'll deliver that information to the manager's office next week. And the First Baptist Church's property committee and the deacons agree with the right-of-way acquisition at the corner of Prince and Pulaski. And their congregational vote is expected on August 24th. So that's just a little snippet of that corner. And I understand that they're not gonna have to move their sign or anything there anyway. So that's what Diana has sent out. Thank you, Diana.
To keep going.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay. All right, next we're gonna move into Athens and Motion Commission committees, education, communications. I'll turn it over to Teresa for a couple of things.
Okay, so we had the Watch for Dogs event. I guess it was just last week.
Yep.
And that was fun as always. And I have this sheet of notes, and I was going to transcribe it.
Oh, I'm
Not read the writing.
sorry.
So I'm gonna give it to you. And,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so we gave out all kinds of stuff.
Which is
And-
this?
It's Arabic.
You know, it was fun giving away all this stuff and there was a lot of enthusiasm and I basically undersupplied the table, especially when it came to vests. I figured that I might succeed in giving out 2 vests. Lots of the kids wanted vests. So I just, I went to the fire hall today and I just went through the whole closet to take inventory of what we have. So we're gonna need to reorder vests. We have 29 small, 18 medium, 32 large, 12 extra large, and 57 kids. We are going to need to get some more of those pocket bicyclist guide books and I think, let's see, we've got 38 of the little pocket booklets, and then we have 10 little laminated cards in Spanish, 18 in English, and then we have 49 kids' books. So they are published by Go Georgia. So what do we have to do to get more of them?
Katie, did we just get more of those booklets recently?
Yes, we did. The updated version.
Yeah, there's an updated version, so
Okay,
where are they stored at right now? Are they at the firehouse, just in a different spot in the closet, or are they in the closet?
I didn't
They're
see
in the
that.
closet.
I
Abby
didn't see
switched them out in the same
I
box.
emptied out the
He'll
closet
put her in.
They're in there now.
Yeah, it was,
What is the
actually,
thing?
it came by right after the tabling opportunity, unfortunately, but we have them
Yeah.
now.
I just emptied the closet out because I wanted to, take inventory and sweep up all the dead bugs. A lot of them.
So you didn't see a box?
I saw one small box, and in that small box, we had 38 of the little blue books, the pocket bicycle card. We had, the yellow cards, 10 in Spanish, 18 in English, and we had 49 of the kids' guide. That's all I found in there.
That sounds like it was a full box though?
Not really, no, because I rated it
Um,
to.
I
How
think
many,
I
I
asked
mean,
for 50.
yeah, we need more than we have.
What was that, Katie?
I had asked Abby for 50 to start out with, but I can ask her for more.
Yeah, I think we should have more than that.
Yeah, the kids took them, the students took them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Great.
and, Porch Fest is coming, and I'd love to have them for the Porch Fest, because we're gonna have a lot of people. And, it'd be nice to hand that stuff out. We have 300 little whistles that can hook on a keychain. Those were very popular.
Yeah.
I gave out at least 150 of those. We've got many slap bracelets, don't need slap bracelets. We have 142 air valve lights, those are fun. We have a tent, we have 2 chairs, we have a wagon, we got pens and paper, and we have 2 tables. And that's basically it. So
The lights went really
the
quick.
bike lights, we are really out of.
Yeah.
But we need bike lights,
What'd you say we had 142?
the little air valve lights. You replace your air valve cover with this little light.
Okay.
Super fun. I have them on my bike.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I used to have some of those. What color are they?
I mean, there's several.
Rainbows.
Okay.
You get yellow, pink, blue.
Thanks.
I love it. So, I mean, I would be. I guess for now, I wouldn't order any more of those, but, we do need more of those little, front and back lights. I think we got them from Scott, but, I don't know, do we go through Scott again to get those? Or do we order them ourselves?
I can check to see if they're in stock. We still have a few here, but I do need to order some more.
Yeah, maybe we can order those. It's starting to get dark earlier. I'd love to continue to have those on hand to hand out. They're very handy. I think I have 2 in my car, so I'm ready. I have like 1 on my bike to share with somebody. I come across another cyclist. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have 100 to give out for the Porch Fest, because I expect we'll have a lot of bike traffic. We don't want anyone on Atlanta Highway getting a ticket because they don't,
yeah.
or Prince Ave.
And Georgia law says you have to have a front light. You can have a rear reflector, but you do have to have a front light.
That's basically it. The closet is now clean.
Drive a bicycle on a road
At night, you have to have.
at night.
I think, yeah, period, you like, I guess, 'cause you can't ride on sidewalks, so yes. I don't know about trails. Have a light.
Have a light.
Yeah,
Well-
you should always have a light.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's reflects poorly upon our civilization that it was required to be enacted. You're driving in the dark amongst vehicles that can kill you, be visible.
I still die.
Have to.
Well, I would think so.
I'm gonna tell your mama.
Be more people wearing black clothes, riding on bikes with no lights after dark than anything else,
And walking.
and walking.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be careful here because this is starting to sound a little bit like what was she wearing, you know? Yes, but also, you know, we need safe infrastructure for people. And I know there was a banner conversation.
Oh, yes, the banner. So it's on the top shelf, Daniel, of the closet. So if we could just get another one of those made, if you'll just tell me what to do, I can do it, but, you know,
I just have to order
okay.
it. If there's one already existing, then we'll just.
Sorry?
I didn't realize there's already one existing.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's the old one with the old logo on it. I want to update it.
Yeah.
And then we'll get more information about how we should strategize tabling for plan.
Oh, and I see that it says we need a new chair. Since it's a committee of one by default, I guess I'm the chair.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm happy to be the chair. And I think Daniel wanted to get Julie to do it, so I vacated.
I had no opinion on the matter.
I thought you wanted Julie to do it. That's what I thought.
Yeah, speaking of chairs and stocking our committees,
Yeah.
putting people in them. Do we have, when is the next deadline for people to apply to commissions? Do you know? We know.
I don't know the deadline. It is either fall, I think fall.
Authorities, commissions.
Meteorological fall starts this weekend.
Good to know.
September, October, November.
Meteors on a
As far
different
as
schedule.
committees go though,
Oh, yeah.
I think, you know, we had 3.
Most astronomical.
There's the vacant data and grants committee.
Yeah.
Grants and data, there's the 1-person communications committee. And there's the 1 or 2-person projects and policy.
So it's three.
Yeah.
Aaron, well, technically Aaron, yeah.
Right.
Part of that.
3-person.
Yeah.
So if there are committees that anybody else wants to be on, they exist. And we can work around schedules.
And I do want to apologize to everybody. I have been probably the least attendant at any of the committee meetings.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'm up there.
You're probably tied.
Okay. But yeah, and it's just, it always seems to clash with my existing schedule, and the chancellor's everybody returns to the office schedule has made that even more difficult. So, yeah, I'm wearing long pants today.
Sorry.
And I ain't liking it.
Get those pants with the little zippers.
Well, actually, these do have.
Yeah, Yeah.
Awesome.
So you know, you get in your car at 5 o'clock and you're like, zip up.
Zip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of us are part of multiple groups, and multiple organizations. You also have the Greenway Commission
Yeah.
itself.
And
So-
that was my, my first commission.
Right, yeah, we're like the committee for your Greenway.
Right.
We could probably flip that around, you know. We could say- Cause didn't we have that situation where you were on our commission, but there was a snafu with the Greenway Commission where you hadn't been approved to be back on there or something?
Yeah.
And that was.
Right, my term had expired and they had not reappointed me yet. But that has been remedied.
Okay, glad to know.
Yeah. I'm here legitimately.
Yeah, I would say don't miss a meeting anyway. Yeah, so we do have openings, and y'all, I'm kind of like just floating, and I'm sorry I haven't been going to meetings, I'm just kind of floating at this point. And I will show up to things and help. So policy and projects along those lines, updates.
Yeah, so we're still searching for other towns, communities, whatever the case may be, looking for a memorandum of understanding in regards to the placement of racks. So if someone asks for one, if they happen to be a business, or and do we actually need one? Aaron has been diligently contacting or attempting to contact other communities. He did get something back recently from Savannah. They do not have one. They do have a bike rack program, an application. But pretty much it's just want one, put in an application, and the county or the city goes over, takes a look at it, boom, puts it in. So.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. And they are actually about the only other city that has replied to any of Aaron's inquiries, so. But we'll continue to work on that. Well, actually, some pretty good information. I think at the next meeting, we'll review what they have in place and see if that compares to what we're looking at too.
Where did we leave off with some kind of sticker for Athens in Motion on the bike racks?
Need to decide on design for that.
Yeah, I kind of said something and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all just choose something and let's do it.
I mean, I was thinking a nice little round sticker would be good to fit the contours.
At this point, anything.
Okay.
Yeah, like
We have our little stacked logo, we
Yeah.
can put it on a little round sticker.
Probably a little square would be better because of the curved surface. I mean, a round one would work too. It's just,
Whatever you want,
we
and
give a lot of white space.
I'll get you a quote about that.
Do y'all have from where?
Well, I Googled a long time ago, I Googled a company that did outdoor stickers to stick on metal. That's where I think I maybe even sent you a quote.
I think
Go back.
I don't think Todd is on anymore, but I know that Leisure Services does a lot of kind of vinyl stickers as their signs and stuff. So when I was there, we used AKO signs. They're a local sign shop.
Okay.
But I think they could do
So who is this company?
AKO.
AKO,
Literally, it's all caps, AKO.
AKOs.
Lexington Road.
Stickers.
And are we gonna say bike racks funded by, provided by?
I guess that's the question. It's is it just the logo? Is there words? How
Well, we could just do the logo and then we don't have no issue of getting in trouble with anyone.
And then it looks like it's just a sticker that got slapped on there.
And for what it's worth, AKO signs, they mean signs, not AKO stickers.
But I think they'll do things like that.
Possibly.
Yeah, the reason I was thinking of them is because they would usually send us the vinyl. Or it depends. Sometimes we would just get vinyl and do it ourselves. Sometimes they would put it on the metal for us, but yeah.
You can get a vehicle wrap from them.
That's a sticker.
Get some sticker.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm bringing up their website right now. It's probably past their working hours, but I'll look at it.
Nice. Anything else, Randy?
Nope, that's it.
Blaine, anything else from UGA?
No, the Watch Your Dogs event went well. Thank you guys for participating. They too gave away all their swag, t-shirts. I think they had t-shirts.
Yeah.
You completed the little around the
Right.
little journey. So they were very happy. I think they said they saw about 300 kids maybe come
Good
through
things
there, young students. So, and then there's talk about doing it again maybe in spring.
Okay.
But let me ask your opinion too. They did it earlier this year than we did last year. And some people thought it was too early just because school started, but
Right.
maybe it was good because we're getting them early before they've kind of.
It was less populated than in
That's fine. Okay.
prior years. But it
Yeah,
was,
it does.
was not unpopulated. I mean, there was a steady stream of people coming through. But it was kind of mobbed the last few years. So,
Yeah.
or
It's
whatever.
like a month earlier too.
Yeah,
When they did it.
I don't think, I mean, who knows what accounts.
Well, apparently we only caught one class change
Yeah,
versus last year.
I think it was also a longer window. That's,
Oh, that's true.
you know,
Yeah. And it was on a Thursday, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the longer
Yeah.
class schedule.
Sure.
But it's also historically one of the popular days, but you have to capture class changes, especially in that location. Good, I'll pass that along too.
Yeah, I'll second that. It was less exhausting. We also, I think, made less impressions and weren't there as long. So I'll leave that up to y'all.
Other than that, we have football starts Saturday. There's games back to back the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Expect higher volume people in town.
Yeah, roads closed, the Coney Street Bridge closed, only traffic coming out, I think at the end of a day.
There's a house in our neighborhood that is owned, I think, specifically for game day parties. And they had landscapers out there putting in nice new sod for it to get ready for the weekend.
Get ready to get trashed.
They're actually pretty friendly folks.
Do you have any updates from the Greenway Commission, Ed, about the network plan?
I do. We think we're pretty much done with the network plan. I know Charlie Barrow, our chair, is working on the process of getting it before the mayor and commission for approval and everything. I think that we may need to open up a window for some public comment, but we're not going to have it in person. I think it's just going to be electronically.
Correct.
But one thing that did come out of this that's quite positive is we hired a young woman named Brittany Waldon, who was a LAR student who had experience with putting together publications, to basically be our person to run Microsoft Word and put the document together and format it and whatnot. And she did a delightful job and has since subsequently graduated, but found herself with a local job. And so we believe that she is going to be applying for a vacant seat on the Greenway Commission.
Oh, great.
And I suspect that at this point, after all the work she's done, she might know more about the Greenway than the rest of us.
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, so that's worked out pretty well. But other than that, nothing to report.
Cool. Do you have any idea when that the public comment might open up?
I do not, but I'll let this group know when that happens, via email.
Okay, thank you. Alan, anything from T-Splosh 2023?
I was not able to attend the meeting this month, so do not know.
Gosh, 3 minutes to go. We'll go around and do any other announcements or parting thoughts. Start that way.
Y'all enjoy the cool weather. Go Dogs.
Yes. Randy?
I noticed, I saw something, I think it was either this morning or yesterday, that one of the founders of Bike Law was killed in a bicycle accident.
See the guy in Decatur?
No, there's not a lot of detail. Ken Roscoff. But, so be careful out there.
Like,
My wife isn't watching this broadcast.
oh, yeah.
Case.
Not a,
I don't think I have anything. I'll move on to staff. Any parting thoughts? Anyone, or actually Gabriella's online. Gabriella? Any announcements or anything?
Hey, sorry. Yes. No announcements. Though I was thinking about the stickers, and I wouldn't mind helping come up with a design. So yeah, I can help with that. Yeah. Yeah, of course. And then so sorry that I was late. But other than that, no announcements.
Nice. I created an email thread for stickers for bike racks. And I've just put it on.
Yay!
Yay. Staff, starting with Daniel,
Nope. So,
Katie.
Nope.
Jeremy or Tina?
I don't think so. I just hope everyone gets to enjoy the rest of this nice weather today.
Yes. Yes. Scott, Bike Athens has like 3 events going on this week.
Well, we got a class tomorrow, we got Picture on Bike, and we got Joyride on Friday. That's all.
Yeah, nice. That's great. Like with this back to school time. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, 5:59. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting on time.
I move that we adjourn this meeting on time.
Nice. Can I get a second?
wait a minute.
Tick tock. Me and Randy try to let somebody else have it.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Everyone have a good night.
30 seconds.
Bye.
Been pretty
Night,
excited
guys.
report the other couple days ago.
Yeah.
Some wild species.
Some
there.
good birds out there, yeah.
I got over there Sunday, like